Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Okay, guys, so we are likely going to fall into next week, but I do think we are very close to at least a short-term bottom. I don't know if it's going to be just for a dead cat bounce. We're going to come up here, maybe bang our head up here around 369.15 again around this trend line, and then we go to a lower low. I don't know how that goes, but I do think we are going to be getting a bounce pretty soon. All right, that is what I want to start the video off with, but I will point out you do have this large upper wick going on here. Let me just change this real quick to give me my arrows. There we are. All right, so you do have this large upper wick going on right here, and you have that same upper wick on SPY, on DIA, and on IWM. So all the indices do share this weekly upper wick, which does hint that we could be going lower into next week. Sellers did take control this week. You had bulls starting to take control last week and the week before, and then this week the sellers did take control, and we could see that very clearly here on the daily time frame. I will remind everyone we were looking for this pullback, and QQQ did literally have sellers stepping in at the very last second at the line in the sand, which was 374.61. You had a high of 373.74, so you got very close there. You got within 90 cents of your 0.786 fib, and if you popped above there, that is when we are going to say, hey, we're probably going to come all the way back up here to 381. Now, I am just saying, sellers did end up holding the line, which means we could get a full retracement. Now, we could be getting a deeper move here. You guys saw where the golden pocket prevailed over here. We could be getting a move down to one of these fibs over here on this move. I do think this is just going to be a retracement, and then we're going to pop back up to a new high. And I think we're going to break out of this giant bull flag we got going on here, which I had moved my trend line, but it goes something like this. All right, just like that. You have 4 touch points now. So you can see, all right, this thing is loading up, and I will take away the clutter right now, and I will point out that you do have this. All right, let me make that a little thicker so everybody can see that there. Right here, all right? So you have the left shoulder, you have your head, and you have your right shoulder right here. What happens if you get a move like that? All right, or even an equivalent high here, you come back, break and retest right there. All right, this is personally, this is exactly what I think is going to happen. Does it happen next week? I think probably. All right, I do, and I'm going to make my case for why I think that is likely going into next week. It has a little something to do with VIX. All right, if you watched Friday's video, just the daily update, then you do know what I'm about to show you. VIX is saying that we should be looking for at least a short-term bottom for a dead cat bounce on the indices within the next couple trading sessions. All right, but here on QQQ, guys, we were literally looking for you to fall as of right here. All right, we are cautious right here. Once we got these spinning tops and shooting star candlesticks across the board, we are not liking the and bearish engulfing candlesticks, might I add. All right, these were just stacking up here on every single index right here. We had these shooting stars, bearish engulfing candlesticks. Everything was just not looking good, and you literally do have, let me just go over these, guys. Everything's not looking too good. You had a spinning top followed by bearish engulfing candlestick. Let me just come back over here real quick. All right, let me show you what I pointed out this morning. All right, so let's just come over here. Just pointing out how many bearish candlesticks we got yesterday. Most come right at resistance. I strongly believe this morning's rally is a bull trap, and we will see a pullback on all these names to create a higher low. After all, QQ is right under its 0.786 fib, which is our line in the sand. If that breaks, then we know we are very likely to run up to 381 before a decent pullback, which means we can trade long again safely, just how I see it. And that is how I see it. Or you can wait to dip buy, all right? But let's just go over some of these. You got Microsoft with the spinning top. You have NVIDIA with the spinning top. You have Tesla starting to break down from a bear flag. You have over here and Apple right at gap fill resistance with the spinning top. You have over here the spinning top on Amazon right here, resistance. You have, which congrats to anybody who did end up buying the breakout with us over here, and then you rode that up. Congratulations. All right, nice. All right, AMD right here, resistance. You have TSM right here, resistance with the spinning top. So like, guys, it was written in the sand today, going into today, that it was very likely going to be a pull trap. All right, we were looking for the pullback. Where were we looking for the pullback to? 431.85 on SPY or 362.95 on QQ. Why those two levels in particular? Why? Because those are the break and retest levels, and that means on QQQ, all right, which I was thinking if that happened, that would be the deeper pullback. But guys, I'm going to identify where we can actually pull back to. If the bulls are going to prevail here, I'll show you exactly where they're going to step in by. Just like over here on QQQ, we knew exactly where the bears had to step in, or it was too late. And that is why it was safe, in my opinion. It was safe taking a short up here. And it was it was a very nice decision to lock in profits. If you locked in profits on everything, congratulations, all right? I personally, I started locking in on, I think I started locking on that day, or maybe it was this day. I did 10, 20 expirations, get out of there, right? Now we're talking November expirations, get out of there. All right, when you were peeking your head up there, and then you could safely get long again if you really wanted to up here. But well, I'm not even going to call it safe, because you're kind of you would be a breakout trader. You're buying this breakout, and then I would say the safe play is actually to wait for the pullback to back test this structure. All right, guys, but yeah, we still do have this really sexy looking structure here on QQQ. I just deleted it, but you have this inverse head and shoulders formation here, and this is exactly what we were looking for, guys. We were looking for the pullback back to 362.95 or on SPY. We didn't know which level the bulls were going to prevail at, but they're likely to step in heavily at one of these levels. I think it's going to be QQs over here, 362.95. All right, but keep in mind, all right, you fell down from this support. That becomes support. Under there, all right, we could come all the way down here to the 0.786 fib. That is going to be the bulls line in the sand. So you had the bears line in the sand up here. All right, I know it's sloppy, but right here at 374.60, 374.50, whatever you want to call it. And then the bulls line in the sand is going to be, all right, let's just remove the bear arrow here. Let's get this bigger one out of the way here. So we just have that. This is going to be it right here, 356.30. All right, and if bulls step in here, then boom, you just had a 75% retracement, and you can continue on your way. All right, but if you get under there, that is when I say, guys, we might actually be taking out this low. Maybe we put in a divergent low here. Regardless, I think we're probably, if you get, especially if you get a daily close under here, we're probably coming back down to these lows. All right, that's my opinion there. I still think this structure is this bullish structure we got going on here. I think it's still going to stand. I do. All right, this thing has taken months now to actually get put together here. All right, so far, guys, we are 110 days into it. That is, almost 4 months into the construction of this bullish structure here. I do think it's going to play out. I think we're going to get a breakout. All right, that is why I'm bullish. Now let's go over why I think that going into early next week, next few trading sessions, if this downside on the indices continues, we're only going to have one or two more red days, is my opinion. All right, why do I say? Excuse me. I need some water. Excuse-moi. All right. Why do I say that? Because your RSI, your daily RSI is all the way back up at 61, guys. If you peek your head up above 65, I'm going to say same thing I said here, same thing I said here, same thing I said here, same thing I said here. Oh, what do we got over here? What do we got over here? All right. All of them. All right. We only are going to be up there for a few days unless you're crashing. And I highly doubt you're getting a crash. All right. I've seen on Twitter about this credit event. I don't think that's coming. I'm going to be straight. I don't think it's coming right now. I really do not. It could. I could be wrong. And that's why we have the bulls line in the sand down here. That is when you don't want to be going long after that. You want to be, you can short, you can just not be going long until you see a change in structure and you put in a higher low and a higher high. And then you can say, hey, let's go long. Just like we saw over here. Let's actually just point that out. Now, I did it before because I saw what was playing out here. All right, but you have a higher low, and then once you broke above here, again, break and retest going on here. That is likely to be the case. All right, well, regardless is the case, you're going to retest, and then you're probably going to get buyer stepping in, or you could come down. Maybe you have one big fat wick going from, you know, right here. Maybe you put in a hammer candlestick. I know. Oh, look, there's actually a guy here. You guys see my guy? You guys see that? Let's put his hands in the air. Dope. All right, guys, but that's really what I'm watching for over here on QQ. I know we're going to check out these weekly charts in a little bit. All right. You did have increasing sell volume on the day, so I do think we are going to have another red day. All right. And like I said over here on VIX, you didn't actually get up there yet. But what I will point out is you do have this. All right, is that it right there? It would be something like that. All right, let's take off that, which if you come up here, you're just going to back test this. We're going to put it back on the chart right after this, okay? But right here, first things first, you have this head and shoulders formation right there. All right, if you take out that high, it's invalidated. It's not a head and shoulders, but it is there. You actually also, this was called out by someone in the Discord right here. You had this inverse head and shoulders going on this morning. And that ended up, boom, breaking out, and you exploded up to resistance. So that was how that went. But here on the daily time frame, you can see that we have this on the weekly. On the daily time frame, you can see that we do have this inverse head and shoulders, this large one going on here. And that, you know, could be a thing. All right. I still don't think we're going to spend too much time above there. And I think if we do have a spike above this resistance, you get a close above that resistance. I think it's probably going to result in this right here, break and retest. Then maybe you go a little higher. But I think we get a dead cat bounce in that case. All right, guys. I'm completely open to things not going my way here. All right. I just, you know, I see what I see on the charts, and I think things are probably going to go a certain way. Plus, if you do peek your head above here, you will have a triple bearish divergence going on here on the RSI, as long as you don't take out this high of 67.64. Yeah. All right, guys. So that is a level we should be paying attention to over here on the RSI. Let me actually just mark that out so I remember to watch that thing. All right. If you take that out, that means no bearish divergence. And then, yeah, we're probably going to see VIX spike a ton more. That is just that. Well, maybe not a ton. All right. But then that's the scenario where we get this. All right. You know, you probably do a break and retest. If you get a close above here, then there's that. And you probably won't see a divergence be here if that is going to be the case. So that's kind of my thinking over there. That's what I'm paying attention to over on msft. That's why I do think we are bottoming. I really do think this is a bottoming process. Plus, you have an ascending bottom over here on IWM. That is something to pay attention to. You have your demand zone down here as well. All right, so you actually do have decreasing volume here, which is kind of that's pretty cool considering that's not the case on any of these. DIA is holding strong up here, but boy, you had a big ass volume spike today. So we do know there's a battle going on, and you do still have this inverse head and shoulders going on DIA. So, guys, you know, charts really don't look too bad to me. I'm just going to reiterate that. I really don't want to sound like perm bull. I know I've been bullish for the past week, but I also got bearish like, you know, 2 or 3 days ago. We started getting bearish. Well, I wouldn't say bearish. We're bullish on the pullback, guys. QQQ has an inverse head and shoulders right as it's about to break out. You know how sexy this was, guys? This is literally like we were waiting on this. Come over here, trade ideas. All right. Look at that. Setting up right before the breakout. Trade ideas to buy the right shoulder on this pullback and then to ride it up to 380 to 390. Beyond sexy setup over here on QQ, in my opinion. Yes. All right. Do you see that right there? Ideal entry. All right. 11/17 expiration. I like it. I really freaking like it. So that is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm paying attention to over here on QQ. On SPY, what is going to be our line in the sand over here on SPY? Well, let's just put it over here. All right, SPY did not progress nearly as much as QQ, so you didn't even come close to that line in the sand, the 0.786 fib up here. All right, not even close. But you did reach the 0.5 fib, the 50% retracement here at 437. So that is something to note right where seller stepped in, guys. This is something that a lot of people are paying attention to. These 50% fibs and then the golden pocket, guys. those are the fibs that are going to be self-fulfilling prophecies, and you know, you might as well pay attention to them. That is just my opinion. All right, guys, but over here, what is your line in the sand? It's going to be over down here at the 0.786, 424, but we're going to say 425.43 is where this is your last resort buy. This is my last resort buy. That's my game plan. All right, guys, you take another buy on SPY and QQ. Preferably, you just do QQ here. I already started with SPY today. All right, but you know, I'll triple that if we do end up getting there. I've got 2 contracts so far. I am planning on, you know, just laddering into my position. Here's the game plan. First one right here, because we don't know. All right, first one was going to be right here at 431.85. Second ad over here is going to be on QQ at 362.95. Spot. The further we go down, the heavier your boy goes, because the cheaper things get, the better deals, the more, you know, risk to reward we're talking. All right, guys, we want to be safe with the profits we just got to take. You know, we do want to be safe with those. We want to multiply them. But guess what? You do not want to take all that risk up here. You have no idea if this thing is not going to hold up here. But you know, guys, if we fall down another percent, guys, I'm just going to be losing, you know, $100 per contract. I'll buy that dip. All right. That's the purpose of buying time in these things. We don't know how long this thing's going to take. We do see that a bottoming process is very clearly stepping up here. I don't think anybody could just call this a dead cat bounce. You had a big bounce. All right. You had a pretty big bounce without any pullback here on SPY. $17 bounce. Over here, you had a $12 bounce without a pullback, and then you had your pullback. Well, over here in QQ, guys, you've had a $20 move without a pullback. That's like this thing over here. All right. So I'm just saying, this thing's got some legs behind it. I think it does. And yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. All right. SPY though, why is this going to be the last buy? That is going to be the last ad on SPY. Why? Because 425.43. Excuse-moi. Hiccups over there. And honestly, guys, things don't look too bad going into next week. I'm going to put some lines on the chart here real quick. I didn't even see this real quick, but that's something pretty cool looking. I knew we had one on the 15-minute time frame, but we just had broken out of it. Oh, there it is. But yeah, guys, I'm bullish going into next week. That's really what I'm getting at. All right, you had this double bottom going on, this ugly double bottom. Let me just mark that out. Right there and right there. You broke above it right there. So if you come back to 425.43, there you go. That's going to be another break and retest. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3 break and retests we are paying attention to. And that's right there at the 50% retracement. So guys, the fibs do play into these things. This is also in the golden pocket. So it would be a perfect spot to be taking that risk, in my personal opinion. All right, which that's all you're going to find here on this channel is going to be my personal opinion and my charts, my skill set, and then my opinion that goes along with that skill set. Guys, you have a bullish setup going into next week. I'll point that out right now. Can you fall flat on your face? Yeah, of course you can. But you know, guys, all I do here is I go over the charts with you guys. And we do this every day for one reason only. We love this, all right? This is what we do because we enjoy this. We genuinely enjoy, you know, drawing on a chart here. And honestly, guys, it like, you know, it's not as easy. These drawings, these are advanced drawings here, right? I remember I had beginner drawings, you know, a few years back. These are advanced. You see my squiggly lines here? They're pretty cool looking. All right, but as far as weekly charts go, guys, all right, I think we get downside next week. We do have big wicks, and that's all I really have to say there. All right, guys, with that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.